Hey, I'm answering this question for Caesar Bruh. He goes, how hard is it to make sales when you only have 5 feedback reviews on your account? I sold 3 random items about 2 months ago, but none of the 3 feedbacks were left. How do you guys go about getting them to leave feedback? Do you message them or slip them a note in the package? Okay, good question, Caesar. Um, Having low feedback is definitely going to hinder you from persevering in sales on eBay. That's like a fact. So it really depends on what niche you're in, especially if you're selling a product where the niche is very closed off, you're one of the few sellers selling that product, you can probably get away with having a feedback or 3 because the buyer is desperate for the product. But if you're selling a generic item, something which they can buy from any other seller, I don't know, like iPhone accessories or phone accessories or something like that, where there's a scrollable list that goes page after page of the same item, then feedback of 3 is not going to cut it, unfortunately. And from the buyer's point of view, why would they buy from you, an unknown variable who might attempt to scam them, who might not deliver the item or deliver it slowly, or give them just a bad experience when they could buy the same item or similar item from another seller that's a top rated seller. So you have to look at it like that. Now, moving forward, you need to concentrate on building your feedback. And you'd say that you sold these items 2 months ago. So that means that, and if you count on those sales from 2 months ago, that means you're a very, 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 very low volume seller. You're like not even in the radar right now. There's people that are selling 40 items a day, on the lowest scale, maybe even a week. So if you're selling 3 a month or every 2 months or whatever, you're not really progressing anyways. This is like this isn't even a hobby to you. You're just playing around with it now. So I think you should buy a bunch of penny ebooks. But what you want to do is that you want to spread it out. So don't buy 30 penny ebooks at once, because it's going to look a bit suspicious. Just won't look right if it was scrutinized. What you want to do is maybe buy like 2, 3 or 4 per day, every other day. Then that way you spread it out. In the month you will have I wouldn't say credible feedback, but you look like you're in it for the long run. This account isn't just a random scam account. That's what I would do. And as far as getting feedback, I would say don't antagonize the buyer. So don't email them saying, can you leave me feedback? Unless you're 100% certain that they're happy with the product or the service. Because this is what I learned back in the day when I first started. Whenever you antagonize a buyer to leave you feedback, you open up the window for problems. They could turn around and say they didn't get the item, or, oh, as a matter of fact, now that you've mentioned it, I forgot all about that purchase. It never arrived. Or you open up dialogue for them to say, actually it arrived, but there's a fault or something like that. You're better off keeping your mouth shut and not getting any feedback, because the buyer doesn't leave feedback, it counts as full feedback left. So you're better off keeping your mouth shut than to antagonize them and give them a reason to give you low DSR or to highlight any issues. So I don't recommend you do that. Likewise, same with like a complimentary slip. I'd say I don't recommend you doing that at your level. I honestly don't think that it's going to make any difference you send in a slip. If you sell 3 items a month, you know, the probability that that buyer is going to acknowledge your slip, let alone read your slip and act on your slip, is very, very low. The slip isn't going to make any difference with your volume. But again, you might highlight a problem to them, and they're going to leave you the feedback you don't want, which is probably going to be a negative. Now, saying that, if you were selling at volume, then a complimentary slip can actually be very useful. But you know, with 3 feedbacks or 5 feedbacks total, one negative can get you suspended if you've got 5 feedbacks total. Now, if you had 5,000 feedbacks, a complimentary slip might be worth it if it means that that complimentary slip generates you another 5,000 and maybe 1 or 2 negatives. But you need to work on building your business. You need to work on volume, natural volume. So once your volume takes off, your feedback will increase exponentially. It's just the way it works. It's a numbers game. eBay is a numbers game. You sell volume, you get your feedback. That's it. So again, try the penny book auctions or the 99 cents auctions for ebooks. That's your short term. Long term, you want natural. You want a natural selection of feedback. Again, you also say, is Alibaba a good way to make sales? I think you mean is it still variable for actually sourcing products? And I'll say yes, it is. Now, if you can get some products from Alibaba or AliExpress, cheap products just to start you off with, iPhone covers, iPhone accessories in general, those earpieces, lightweight, cheap to ship. Now, you want to sell these products all day, even if it's at a loss initially, and that's a good way to build up your feedback. In the long term, this isn't a very good business. Usually guys that sell iPhone accessories or phone accessories, they're usually amateurs or huge Chinese sellers. So I wouldn't say to do that long term, but for the meantime, if you just want to build up your feedback, that's a good way to do it. I hope that answered your question, Caesar. If it didn't, let me know. If it did, click the like button. If you've got another question, comment down below. Remember to subscribe to the channel. Until next time.